right, I think we are good. I'm going to take this to our faces. What's up, everybody? We are live on the interwebs. We're getting ready to do a show here. Looks like people are filing in. We're going to set up our recording devices. We're going to get straight to the point today because we all got places to be today. So,
yep.
We're going to do this. We're going to get that going. I think we're good. If everybody's feeling good, we're going to start rolling the recordings. And we will get the show on the road.
Yep.
All right. I'm hitting record. I'm recording now.
I'm rolling.
You're
on
rolling?
my side. Yeah.
Okay.
All good.
All right. We're going to do a sync clap. Jrpgs. I think it might be a little while before we do that again, right?
Nah.
We'll do regular.
I was aching to play yesterday.
Oh gosh. All right. We're gonna do a sync clap and to sync our audio. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3 clap. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Perfect. And I think we're good to go. And I got my notes. Let's see, where are my notes? Here are my notes. Probably need those. Oh, and at some point there might be a dog puppet that shows up. Just go with it.
Okay.
What are things you don't hear every day?
Right. Just go with it. All right. Here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is the super talented Nicole Ruggiero.
Hello, everyone.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, mograph.com, and most importantly, TikTok. You know, I think you have to mention that these days.
I think you zoomed through that faster than you ever have.
Really?
Ever.
Cool.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
I should
well
just
done.
clip it and play it
right
normal every week.
Now you start the show.
Yeah. Let us know if you have a question for the show. We really like to hear all of these ideas and topics. It helps us stay fresh because we like to talk about what people are interested in. That always helps, right? So, this week we're gonna have a short show today, and that's not the usual jokey short show because we go on forever. We actually do kind of have a short show today. We've all got places to be. Got some vacations coming up.
Yeah.
And
next week, no show.
No show next week. Gotta warn everybody. No show.
Maybe I'll like live stream myself on Twitch or something like that, or on YouTube. You know, and y'all can just come hang out with me. No,
you can't. You're not allowed.
Well, not on our stream, but maybe on my own.
You should live stream some motion graphics. You should do some dailies.
Totally.
It'd be fun. So yeah, we got those coming up. So we're a little behind on a few things. You know, we're working on this Houdini scholarship and the details of it, and I just want to get all those details right first. So we're gonna get that sorted out after the vacation. I'm gonna be going up to Colorado. And yeah, not specifically Denver, actually. I don't think we're going to make it into Denver, but up to Colorado, get some nice cool air since it is over 100 here already, heat index-wise, so that'll be nice. First time to kind of get out of here since COVID, so that'll be interesting. And so, no show, and the creating the Unreal, we've got some plans as well, because I was talking to Winbush. We talked for a couple hours about some ideas about what we could do for some new updates to the course and some contests and all sorts of fun things. So be on the lookout for that as the summer goes by. And to continue the summer of Mograph, we really have some great guests coming up, including Tori Bryant. I just wanted to mention this is a little bit different because she does stuff that has to do with like stop motion animation, 3D printing, other stuff. So so check all that out. We're trying to get like a big variety as we go through the rest of the summer and the rest of this year, and kind of bring people in from like these different areas to learn more about what some other possibilities are in the world of motion design and animation. So there's that. The 3D motion show is Wednesday. Don't forget to check that out. That is going to be starting, let's see, I believe at 10:30 Central Time. That's the best that I can remember on that off the top of my head. But there's that. And also, I thought it was interesting to dive into the world of doing music for money. And it's very interesting experience because I'm kind of relating it to like the world of motion graphics. I got paid to do my first like music composition on something, and
it's good.
It's an interesting experience to kind of go through because you're relating everything you do with clients to the world of motion graphics. So I was doing that, and interesting. If we do more of that, we'll maybe talk about it. Dealing with clients when you're making them custom things that aren't motion graphics.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people that are getting into like multiple medias now, and so that might be something interesting to explore. And lastly, the thing I wanted to talk about on the week wrap up is I wanted to announce that Julie and I are having a baby.
Yay, a baby.
It's been something that we've been holding out on announcing for a while, so it feels good to finally get that out there. So if you see us at Camp Mograph, which she insists on going to Camp Mograph despite being pregnant, you're gonna have to make sure help me make sure she's okay. It's a big camp, right? So so that's the week wrap up, and I wanted to quickly do some Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
This is our acronym for all the render engines, and at this point we rarely talk about some of these render engines, but we still
there's not a lot of updates on some of them.
But there is the 3080 Ti that came out. I don't know, what do you think about that?
I got 3090s. I don't care about them.
I need to get some 3090s. I'm like really.
What do you have?
It's crazy. Go ahead.
I have three 1080 Ti's still, but I really want to get like two 3090s at some point. But I'm like, have a hard time justifying the insane price gouging on them. It's pretty painful.
It is.
Yeah, I think I felt like it was a whole lot easier to get them, like when they were first announced.
Yeah,
because we picked up 10 of them. Or maybe more.
I think 11
probably
now.
11 because we sold one to Ariev, but like we still need to pick up 2 more, and now they're impossible to get. Like they're gone almost instantly.
Yeah.
Versus earlier, it's like, oh, they're for sale. Okay, we grab them real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like I'm hoping that it gets better with some new crypto announcements and stuff. We'll see as well on top of the hardware.
Yeah, like the chip shortages and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nearly impossible.
I've been watching these videos, and I'll have some links in the show notes to some of these, but I've been watching some of this stuff like Linus Tech Tips and these other people are saying, and to me it almost seems like they're doing some of these shortages on purpose to kind of I don't know, get us to be okay with spending that kind of money. Right?
I don't know.
I feel kind of taken, but
I would have rather them just released it at that price point then, if that was the case, I don't think it makes a ton of sense because I think the value increase with the faster speeds was justifiable for them to create that kind of price point, or maybe even set it a little bit lower rather than letting the market decide, from the shortages. That's my opinion.
Now, the ones we bought, we have never paid more than retail for. We've never paid more than retail, and that's why we're having show. We don't want to pay.
It's not
sure
like
we could get one for double if we wanted it, but
it's not like we're in dire straits where we're building a computer and we actually need the cards.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we will upgrade our stuff as soon as we can.
Right.
You know, and
That's
like
where
right
I'm at,
now.
yeah.
I'm sitting on two 2070 Supers, you know, and they're perfectly fine in my third render machine.
Mhm.
And it's
Right.
like, you know, I'll upgrade those to 3090s as soon as we can, but it's still a workhorse right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm wondering if like the new cards are gonna come out and like get released before like
Before
we
you
can
can get
even
one.
get the 3090s,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah. I mean, we probably got another year and a half before new cards. I think it's every 2 years, right?
Something
Is
like
it?
You
that.
know,
Who
think it's
knows
every 2
nowadays?
years.
I mean, it might be so hard to roll these things out. They might kind of drag it out. I don't know. They got
Yeah, I
all these
don't
new
know.
ones coming out. They've got the 3080 Ti, which honestly, I mean, there's the CUDA cores are slightly different, but the biggest thing is that the only difference for the most part between that and a 3090 is the fact that it's got like half the VRAM of the 3090, but that's it.
Like just spend the extra money and get the extra VRAM.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
why not?
I think
If you can get it.
well, one
I mean, all
comment-
these cards are impossible to find
Yeah.
anyway. So
one
we're
comment
all
I
speaking
saw
in hypotheticals right now.
one comment I saw is that nobody needs 48 gig of VRAM, or 48, is it 24 gig of VRAM when they're gaming. That's what I saw for the most part.
Right.
So that's
Sure.
why it makes sense to get a 3080 Ti, you know, if you're a professional. The 3070 Ti was announced as well. I'll put all these links in the show notes so you can check it out, but there's also a funny video that I'm linking to where this guy said he made a 4090 and he made this ridiculous contraption, like it looks like one of these cards, right? But it's huge. We're talking like it's a couple feet long and it has all these fans all over it. And he's showing how he built it, and then he turns it on and
That's
it smokes. It's a silly video, but I'll post it. And the last thing I wanted to talk about in just the render segment is that Jules did post a picture of Octane working in Unreal 5. They're already working on that right now, which is awesome.
And supposedly, that's according to that tweet, the Unreal 5, it's supposed to work with Brigade and the multi-render kernel as well. So,
Yep.
I mean, you're talking all the different render engines, you know, Arnold inside of Unreal. Like, that's crazy cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Orbix support.
Orbix
Have you
support,
guys
yeah.
played with Unreal 5 yet?
Not
I want
5, I
to.
haven't. No.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't. I downloaded it and I downloaded like the test project, but I still haven't like been able to mess around. I'm so curious about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah.
layout's supposed to be nice, but I do hear after talking to Windbush that it's very buggy right now because it is a beta. He's
Oh yeah,
not even
totally.
a beta.
Yeah.
There was like a warning of like this is for people who enjoy like the bleeding edge of like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you are okay, just be okay with the crashes. Just accept the crashes. It's like Zen.
course.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I think that a lot of people are probably holding out or were holding out for this because they saw the announcement a year ago for 5.
Something like that,
And it's
yeah.
like, okay, when 5 comes out, I'm gonna jump in. I think a lot of people kind of feel like that.
There's so many things I wanna try that. I want to try Unreal 5, but it's like, so last week Dave and I finally delivered our big project
Yeah.
that we've been working on for the past 3 months, and it felt so good. It's like the stress of working 16-hour days every single day for almost 3 months straight is gone, and yeah, then we had a Halo day.
Nice.
so-
yeah.
Played Halo for what, 15 hours?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was a 15-hour Halo run. I was on from 12 p.m. to 12 midnight. I played every game.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 12 hours, and I'm a little burnt out on it. But Unreal, have you played with Unreal besides 5 before, or was this your first experience with it?
Oh no, yeah, I've been using Unreal for years, doing like VR stuff. I just
Oh yeah.
opened an exhibition called "How the Internet Changed My Life," just opened in Germany, which is like a portrait and like multimedia experience, but it has like a big chunk of it is like a VR experience that I worked on with my friend, the Glad Scientist, and we've been working on that for the past year. Finally, just finished it. We did it with the Oculus Quest and like hand tracking, really new thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of like bleeding edge of tech, really quite challenging. We were originally using the Magic Leap actually, and that like they kind of the whole company kind of died in the pandemic, and so we like pivoted to the Quest, and that was a whole process in and of itself to kind of like migrate the project over to that, and like Sabio, the Glad Scientist, had to like change a bunch of the code and like redo a lot of the blueprinting, and it was really it was a lot of work. We had to change a lot of like the graphical elements as well, a lot of the 3D stuff, but I think in the long term this is so much better, and I'm really happy with it. And like doing the hand tracking stuff was just really cool to like be able to like use your hands instead of like the controllers is so satisfying.
Yeah, how much control do you have? I messed with them for a minute and then I turned it off because I was interfering with what I was trying to do in the Quest, so I turned it off. Is it getting
the hand
better?
tracking?
Yeah.
It's still like a newer thing, so it's not perfect, but it's really cool, and it's not like bad by any means, but I will say that it's also not like super perfect. There are some games using it, and overall like it's nothing like super noticeable. I would give it like maybe like an 8 out of 10 right now. I think it can improve, of course, but for the most part it's definitely functional and really satisfying, I think.
So tell us more about the exhibit. I want to know, like, what do you see?
Yeah,
when
I'm
you
looking
do
on
this?
your Twitter and I only see like a couple of images. I'm curious what the
I know.
exhibit consists of.
I'm gonna keep promoting it. I didn't want to like spam everyone at once, because it is quite a large project. I started it like 3 or 4 years ago. But basically, I went around and I interviewed people about their internet experiences, and I put out like an open call for that, and then I chose certain people to focus on for the exhibition, and those were the people who I felt really had the internet ingrained in their identities. So I flew around to different places, some in New York, like LA, like Germany, Japan. And I focused on 6 people for this, and basically I made portraits that I took pictures of the actual photographs of the people after I met with them in person, and I composited in a figure called the internet into each portrait that represents the interviewee's experience online. So this figure is pretty consistent throughout the portraits, but it changes a little bit according to how each person uses the internet. So it started out with the portraits, and then we moved on to doing the VR component. So again, 6 interviewees that we focused on, so 6 portraits, and then multimedia component that goes into each interviewee's experience. 4 people have their own VR experience, and then the 2 other people, one has a face filter and one has a website. So and the VR portion is really, really cool, and I mean the other portions are really awesome. Also, I got help by a few other friends as well. Dylan Banks did the music for the VR, really, really good. I got help from my friend Teresa and Toshi with the face filter, and then me and Sabio did the website. And yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's a really big project. I won't sit here and go into each person's experience, but we ranged anywhere from like deep frying memes to like cam girl to someone who focuses on music and, you know, just all different kinds of ways that people have used the internet to form their own identities.
Did you do a portrait of yourself as well in there?
No, but what started this actually was a portrait of myself with this internet figure. And I was like, I want to do this with other people.
Right.
So, funny enough, yes and no. Not for the exhibition, but it inspired the exhibition.
That's cool.
So how did you get into this in the first place? Let's go back a little bit. I want to know how you got interested in all these fields, I guess, really, like, you know, kind of the real time as well as like Cinema 4D and things.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I'll probably have to start in middle school.
Nice.
Like in middle school, like I kind of had like a rough childhood, so I really used the internet as a way to meet people and like form my own identity, which is why I felt so strongly about doing this exhibition in the first place. But so during that time, I got into like Photoshop actually, and I was using like Gaia Online and like talking like the art form on there and DeviantArt and making friends through art in that way. And I started, you know, like using Photoshop. I got a Wacom tablet, like I asked for it for Christmas and like used that. And I was using also like Flash MX Pro to like make fun of people, like kids in my middle school, like my friends, like making really stupid animations. So that was kind of my first foray into kind of like digital art. And then 3D, I didn't get into until after college, actually. So I went to college for graphic design. And I was using After Effects a lot. And I wasn't like super satisfied with After Effects. And
I feel like I hear that every day.
Feels so familiar.
I'd say that every day.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Then I was like, okay, like kind of like this 3D thing, and it seems like culturally pretty cool, like the people who are into it. So, you know, let me give this a shot. And
it's a great community.
Yeah, really good community, especially when it was smaller. That was back in 2015. And I think it was really, really nice to like make friends through 3D. And so started like getting into that and kind of like drew a lot of inspiration from like Tumblr at the time, actually. That was before they kind of got like ruined.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By Yahoo or whatever.
Yeah. So and then I think pretty shortly after that, I was just like, VR is cool, and like got into VR. And I don't know, I've always been into like new technologies, like and video games. Like my dad got me really into video games and just like computers and stuff like that. So I think just naturally I wanted to get into VR and just start doing stuff with that and augmented reality and just going to different like art exhibitions, and was really inspired by these types of things. And I just think it's awesome. It's like so cool. And I think, you know, and the idea of the future is really interesting to me, you know, where things are heading. And I think in a weird way, it almost makes me feel safer to like stay on top of like new technologies.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it makes me feel like I'm like future proofing myself. So I really enjoy like learning you know, new things that are up and coming, even when it's like really difficult or like not functional and there's no forums for it or whatever, you know.
Yeah. And Winbush and I had this conversation. We had like a 2-hour phone call this weekend, and we were talking about everything. So we got into talking about getting older and keeping up with technology and things. It's really good to just dip your toe at least into some of these technologies, because you never know where they're going to go, and you never know where your own industry is going to go, right? In 20 years, it's going to look a lot different.
Definitely. What do you think is going to happen in 20 years?
Well, AR is the number one thing on my.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nah,
Matt is such an AR
What?
naysayer, but like
until I don't know. I was also a super VR naysayer until I experienced it at first. When I think AR, all I think are ads. You know,
Yeah,
Yes.
It's definitely gonna be
like
a lot of that.
all I see are ads.
But who's
It's
gonna make
be,
the
It's gonna be
ads?
awful.
we're gonna
Well,
be
sure,
making.
I'll make the ads, but I won't participate. I don't know.
I don't believe you.
All right.
They're gonna have the TikTok equivalent of AR, and you're gonna be
Absolutely.
sucked in.
Yeah, see, I was a TikTok naysayer,
Yep.
and then I got into it, and it's now my
Mhm.
favorite. My favorite.
Yeah.
TikTok's cool. I'm really curious like what's gonna happen to like Facebook and Instagram and all that once like augmented reality becomes like a bigger thing and more accessible for people because
Probably try and be at the forefront of it.
of course, but
Facebook
will they?
buy out whatever
Yeah.
company
Wow.
is at the forefront?
I saw a very simple TikTok the other day, and it just was so profound in its own little way. And it was just a dude in front of the camera, and he said, Facebook will make you hate your friends.
Mhm.
TikTok will make you love a stranger. And,
Yeah.
and that was just such a big deal to me because I feel this shift. If you're not into TikTok right now, oh my gosh, like you know that awful feeling you get because social media is so sucky and everyone's arguing and you just see politics and awfulness. I'm telling you, TikTok, if you go down the right path on TikTok in the algorithm, you will just be loving it and you will just like not even care about Facebook anymore. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And
I maybe log on Facebook maybe once every couple days.
it's the hero
just
we
to
needed.
see.
I deactivated mine recently. I was just like, I'm done with this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
The
but
problem
like, of course, it's like got its like tendrils into like everything now, and it's
Mhm.
like it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like Instagram and Twitter, right? Like at this point.
So Instagram's fine.
It's okay,
Whatever.
yeah.
People post their stuff, but the thing that sucks about Instagram is, Facebook's still making money off of your art,
Yeah.
which is stupid. They're wanting you to post your own stuff so that they can put their ads in
Right.
between all of your things.
All you get is a
know?
like.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, all you get is a like. You don't make any money off of
Right.
it,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
if anything,
algorithms,
that's worse
like-
because you're creating content for them for free.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't
If you
know.
scroll down, it's like every like 3 things is an ad now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And like the engagement is so much lower on Instagram.
Mhm.
I've actually really been enjoying Twitter, though. I have to
I
admit.
hate Twitter.
I've been getting into
Man.
Twitter.
Twitter is a place where, at least with Facebook, it's like you realize your friends are stupid, or especially your family is stupid, On Twitter, it's like you have every lot in life just is either have you ever been attacked on Twitter? Because I have lots of times, and it's awful. It's the worst.
I
like
haven't been
you
attacked on
can't get
Twitter
attacked on Facebook by anyone but your friends and family, which
Oh
have
my god,
also
I've
happened.
definitely gotten attacked on Facebook. Like,
Well, everything on my Facebook has always been private.
Oh yeah, Matt's
okay.
is
But
And I
very.
was,
thing
it was
is-
actually in the Max on Cinema 4D
Oh,
like
boy.
group
Oh no
or
way.
whatever. Yeah, for like some art that I posted. I'm not gonna get into the whole story right now.
Oh,
but, like,
I know exact. Okay, I know what it is.
You
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, because well, I don't know if it was on. It might have been on Reddit that I saw this or something.
Oh yes, it also happened on Reddit.
Yeah.
that was another
Yeah.
one. Yeah, not great spaces.
Yeah.
For like a queer female artist, like was really intense. I think
There was
for
something
me.
to do with nudity. I don't remember or something. It was just.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was like
remember.
I was making a piece about a hegao, which is like kind of like a hentai thing, and people were like getting really upset about it, and like I don't like why though. Like, are you afraid of sexuality? Like, what's
Some
what's
people
the
are.
here. Yeah, and
Come to Texas. A lot of people are.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
really got blown out of proportion. One guy like told me to throw my computer out the window and stop making art. Like it was like a really big mess. And then he somehow found my phone number. That was really creepy.
What?
That's super creepy.
Yeah, and he actually like called me and like it was like so weird and he like apologized. This was like months later and he was like, sorry, I was like in a bad place, and I was just like, how did you get my number?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was
And-
in a bad place, so I just stalked you real quick to
Yeah.
find your phone number and call you. Can send
Uh,
like a DM or something.
It was
Yeah,
like really
right.
scary, and I was like, please don't contact me again. Like I was like, I'm glad you're in
Yeah.
a better place, but please don't contact me again.
Yeah.
Like so weird. Definitely some really weird people out there for sure.
Yeah. What do you plan on doing here in the future? What's your next project?
Yeah, Nicole, where do you work? Like, are you
Yeah.
just are you? No, sorry, I that sounded
So
rude.
many
Where do you
questions.
work? No, like, what do you? Are you full time freelance or
Yeah.
are you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So do you
Yeah.
have plans now for something else big? And is it going to be VR, C4D, game?
I am currently like taking a huge breather from any exhibition stuff after this 3-year project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing more VR, AR oriented stuff in the future. For now, I really want to focus on like NFTs and getting my work out there through that. I have a few drops coming out, but yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at, and also like I'm still like taking on client work, which I have been pretty much ignoring a bunch of emails for the past couple months to get this exhibition out. But
Right.
like, if anyone who's watching and has been trying to contact me, please try again because I am now looking at my emails again. And sorry if I didn't answer you.
What kind of client projects do you generally work on?
Last year I did a lot of music videos.
Cool.
Yeah, a couple of my favorites I worked on like Lady Gaga's Sour Candy music video with my friend Andy Rolfus and Team Rolfus. That was like really fun to work with my friend, and he actually worked with me on some other music videos. I got to work on like the Rico Nasty iPhone video, which was really one of my favorites as well. Definitely not like as like it wasn't like super high end production, but I think like it was just really fun to work on and really like my like genre of music, so I really enjoyed that.
Is it generally like character stuff, or what are
Yeah.
you doing?
I do a lot of character stuff, mostly characters, rigging, like motion capture. I just got a Rococo suit recently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Motion
Nice.
capture cleanup, like character design, like art direction for characters, and
I'm
yeah.
adding you to my list of people that I can contact. for that.
Right?
yeah,
Because it's a
for
hard
sure.
field. It's really hard,
It
and
is.
like if
You
you
have to know so many programs.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Mhm.
in between so many different things. I'm using like DAZ and Maya and Cinema, and just like literally need to be able to use like different render engines and Octane, Redshift, like whatever comes up. It's not an easy field to be in for sure.
Mhm.
That's why, like, you gotta dip your toes in that stuff. Like, you gotta know a little Unreal and all of this. Even if you don't know it a lot, and also that's why you gotta know different render engines. Everyone's so concerned about that one render engine they need to learn, and it's really
Right.
more than that. You gotta know them
Yeah.
all, or at least dip your toe in them all, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, like have some like baseline knowledge of how each functions.
Mm-hmm.
And being in the
Mm.
whole character thing, knowing that whole workflow, that's got to be so advantageous because someone like me or probably Matt, we have some character experience, but,
Yeah,
but
we've
we're all
done
over
some.
the place. And when a character thing comes up, it's like, okay, how complicated is this? Do we need to hire somebody? Because it's its own
Yeah.
field. Like,
Yeah,
like
totally.
it really is its own thing. Lorcan has a question. He says, "What up, nerds?" Hey. Question for Nicole. I see a lot of Japanese influence in the bookshelf behind you. What books or films got that interest started?
Yeah, me and my roommate just got this bookshelf actually. It's, like, really funny. Um, Okay, yeah. So Japanese influence. So again, a middle school thing. I started reading manga in middle school. Started reading a lot of like yuri and yaoi manga, which is like really gay manga, and like got into like anime from that, but also into like some like cyberpunk themed stuff, and like Ito is pretty cool. Like one of my favorite animes is Psychopaths. I really love that one. Attack on Titan is really good too.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of good things about that.
I need to
good.
check that out. It's on my list. I haven't done it yet.
Very long at this point, so
yeah.
I would say start now because the last half of the last season is coming out. I think sometime next year. So
and isn't it? You could watch it two ways. I hear there's the subtitle way to watch it, and there's the
overdubbed
way to watch it. Right? Which way is better?
I like honestly go for dubbed. Like I sound terrible. I also know some Japanese, but I go for dubbed, like, cause I don't know. Sometimes I'm like working or doing something else, and it's really takes so much attention to like watch the screen. But the new episodes only come out like with subtitles, so you kind of have to watch those with subtitles. But for me, everyone can hate on me, but I prefer dubbed anime.
Where did you learn the little Japanese that you know? Is it just from watching these, or were you immersed in the culture somehow?
I like was studying it at this place called Japan Society here for probably like between a year and 2 years. That was like a couple years ago. I definitely want to get back into it, but it's more of a like leisurely I'm like interested in the culture kind of thing, but like not somewhere that I think I would want to ever like live long term or like really get like too involved in. But I really love like the like arts and architecture culture over there for sure, and video games.
How has the suit been?
The suit, great, honestly. I love it. I have the gloves too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really sick.
That's a great combo. And then, combine that with a face rig. Have you tried that as well? Like doing where you get the iPhone on a little bendy thing and put it in front of your face?
Yeah. I haven't done it with my Rococo suit, but I have done it before, and it's really, really, really awesome. I love it. And the cleanup's like pretty easy. I think the most annoying part is like getting the suit on.
Is it like almost like a yoga type?
Yeah, it's like really tight and like just like uncomfortable and hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I wonder if eventually we won't even need these suits. The AI and cameras are just going to be so good.
It's got to be to the
Unless
point
you
where...
have like a camera rig set up, I don't really.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be similar to VR at some point where it's just like a couple of different points or
like sensors on like stickers or something, like sensors on the joints that you can just place and just walk around. I mean,
right, but how would they like stay? Well, I guess they would be stickers.
Or maybe a band, maybe like a band around the arm.
Well, the Xsense has that.
Oh, it does.
Where you can just do like bands and stuff.
Now that one's way more expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe someday it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Nicole, talk to me. Switching over to something completely different. Talk to me about this Lady Gaga project that you did. I'm looking at your website and looking at the project, and it's cool. Was this done in VR?
Yeah. So I worked with Team Rolfus on that. They were like mainly art directing it, but yeah, it was all done in Unreal. Yeah, they mainly work in Unreal and render out of Unreal, so mainly done that, kind of like ZBrush Maya Unreal workflow.
What parts of the music video did you do?
I was working a lot with the characters, like working on like rigging and weighting and like cleaning up the meshes and ZBrush and stuff like that.
That's super cool. It's a really pretty piece. It definitely shows like using VR Unreal in a you know
Yeah.
it's
More of a
interesting like
production pipeline.
yeah, more of a production pipeline. Yeah. And like it's interesting like because I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, this is obviously VR, but it's like they're recording someone who is, like turning a certain way. Is that how it was done?
Yeah, so this is a lot of like puppeting
Uh-huh.
versus like mocap suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a very cool piece. Very cool piece.
And you got so many other ones on here too. You got Calvin Harris.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the same deal as a lot of the character stuff?
Yeah. I worked on the extra character for that, so like the female character. And like I hired a dancer from New York to dance for the mocap for that one. So I designed that character and did all the cleanup for that.
How is that cleanup? Is it difficult? Do you have to do it in Unreal? Where do you do that?
I usually just work in Maya for that. But yeah, I mean it's really not bad. It's I mean the longer it is, the more annoying it is because
Sure.
it kind of gets like tedious, like going through every frame and rewatching and stuff like that. But generally, like, because I used to like, and I still do this, like, just do like animations by hand. Like compared to doing that, like, it's just so much better. Like, so like much more of a breeze. Just it's easy because you can just work with layers and kind of like animate on top of the mocap. So that makes
I'll be
it really
right back.
simple.
Sorry, guys. Keep going.
But yeah, it makes it really simple to kind of do that, and it's really satisfying, I think.
Was it the same kind of deal with the Rico Nasty one?
That one was actually all animation by hand.
Okay.
For the most part. Some of it was like mocap, that was grabbed from I think like Mixamo or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was a lot of animation by hand for that one.
I'm trying not to bring him up for too long because I'm like I'm gonna get flagged or something on on YouTube for playing these music videos.
Oh right, yeah.
Also, I was looking at you've got AR filters as well. What are these on? Is it Snapchat or?
Yeah, various Snapchat. I just released one on Instagram. I've made filters for like a lot of people though. For myself, I've only made one Snapchat one, which was pretty complex, and then one Instagram one recently for the exhibition.
Are you using Spark AR for it or what?
Spark AR for the Instagram one, and then Snapchat, their Lens Studio. Yeah. So
which one
very similar programs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which one do you like better?
So Lens Studio has more features and like it's a little bit more into the AR side of things, where I think Spark AR is kind of like lagging behind a little bit. So I really like the features of Snapchat because they're really on top of it, and it's really cool to kind of see what's going on with that.
So since Matt is gone and he doesn't really like the AR stuff, let's talk about that again for a minute, because my personal feeling is that, like, let's say 10, 20 years down the line, there's gonna be at some point an iPhone equivalent of an AR glasses that is just, it blows everyone out of the water. It becomes the popular one. I know Snap has one out right now, and these things are gonna get flushed out and all of that.
Yeah.
And when the dust settles, there's going to be some really great AR gear. And we might not be to that point yet with graphics technology and battery technology, but when we're there, let's say 20 years from now, what do you see a day-to-day life looking like when you're wearing one of those?
Yeah. There's this video, I think it's called like hyper reality or something, that I always reference, that I think is a really good example of what this might look like. And it is really full of ads, but
Yeah.
I would check that out. I think it's on Vimeo. But basically, I think that, it's going to be something that we can like turn on and off, but generally speaking, it's going to be like just like an interface in front of our faces. So instead of like looking at a screen, we're just going to be looking through a screen, and
we won't need our
we'll be able to
screens.
like use our hands and stuff like that. For professionals though, I think it's going to take a long time to get there, for like using like really using like 3D and all of these like technologies, like doing mocap and stuff like that. Like, I think we're going to be stuck on the computer, like, probably throughout our whole lifetimes, but I think eventually, like, I would like to think by the time I'm old, like, I'll, like, see it happen where it's, like, literally just an AR. That would be really cool.
Well, you kind of get a glimpse of it when you put on the Quest, and you put on the room mode, right? Where you can see your cameras, and, like, the menu is just sitting there in your room, and you can walk around the room and the menu's there. It's like, imagine those were computer screens, right? And your helmet wasn't so bulky and heavy, but you can imagine just your room. You just gotta have your stuff up and put some videos over here, and put some stats over here, and put your keyboard over here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I'm wondering, like, also how this is going to go as far as like space, because it does require like a decent amount of space as well, whereas like a computer like will require a lot less space, because you're not actually working physically in space, you're just like sitting and staring at a screen. So that's like an interesting part of it. But can you imagine, like, what is the bridge between like Unreal and AR gonna be? Like having that kind of production in AR, will it happen, and if you think so, like, when will it happen?
Because think about what they're doing right now with like these LiDAR cameras on the iPhone. And I know the resolution isn't great, but imagine that all that data was being brought back in, and then of course using Unreal's magic polygon voodoo that they've got like in Unreal 5, it can just recreate the world around you in a heartbeat. I mean, they're close to that now. I'm curious
totally
to see.
Yeah, their virtual production is insane.
Yeah. Let's go into Mograph Recommends. Again, it is a short show today, so we'll keep going through this. If you think of any other topics that, as far as your work that you want to hit, let us know. We will be getting into NFTs in a few. And if anybody has any questions in the audience, feel free. Matt, could you start Mograph Recommends, because I forgot all my drinks.
Actually, there was one other thing that I meant to mention to you on Ravcog. Octane just released the 2020.2.4 version for both standalone and Octane. There's some bug fixes as well as some other things. And I don't. Okay. Dave got his stuff back. I was gonna say I don't remember the list of what Mograph recommends.
That? Favorite movie.
I said I don't remember what the list. Favorite movie. I know it always starts with favorite movie. Yeah.
What? So these. Okay.
Nicole. Yeah. These are your favorites. They don't have to necessarily be your favorites of all time. They could be favorite currently. But we'll start off with favorite movie.
Yeah, probably like Hackers or The Matrix.
Nice. Good choices.
Yeah.
Good choices. Yeah. Are you excited about Matrix 4?
I didn't even hear about that.
Really?
I don't know. The sequels are questionable.
I agree.
But like hopefully Matrix 4 is kind of like fixes that reputation. I don't know. We'll see. When's it supposed to come out?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think next year.
They're shooting it already, right?
I'll definitely watch it.
They started shooting it, then COVID hit, and they took a break, and we were all worried that it wasn't going to happen at all. And then I think they continued shooting somewhere else.
That's how I feel about the Orville.
Right.
The Orville is actually shooting, so it's coming back. The Orville, COVID.
Is it?
COVID smashed the momentum of the Orville.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure hope we don't get into another situation like we did with the writer's strike. Like the writer's strike killed
Oh, we're already
so
there. Have you
many
seen
good
Netflix lately?
shows.
There's nothing. There's nothing on.
Bo Burnham's new special
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is it good? I need to see it. I remember like watching like Bo Burnham and like New Math. Do you remember that video?
I don't remember.
Oh
that
my
one.
God, so old. Like watched it in high school. Like
Mhm.
just I don't even know. Yeah, I really it's so the new special's good.
Oh man, it's I've watched it like 3 times since, like
Nice.
watching that special. I got the same feeling like when I walked away from like Requiem of a Dream or
Okay, oh my God.
what's
That
the
sounds
what's
really
the Bjork
intense.
one? Dancer in the Dark,
Hmm.
where just by like at the end of it you're like, "Oh wow, that was intense."
That was a
and
trip.
like
Damn.
like
See,
like it's beautifully depressing.
right.
And
Oh
I
my
loved
God.
it. And
Oh.
like well, I feel like every single person can relate to it because we've all been experiencing the same thing over the past year, And like it's weird. Like his other stuff is you can tell he's being funny and he's been with a live audience, but this is just like I don't know, he's just making music and stuff, and it's and the fact that he did everything himself.
Yeah.
So
Now, I
good.
never followed him really before.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
have a respect for everything that he did, like in this room on his own. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that would be so much fun to try and do something like that, and also so much work, and also so depressing at the same time.
So depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's there's this one song called 30 that like I was hooked at that point because it's all about him turning 30 and stuff like that, but he does all the lights himself, and he has moving lights, and he's controlling everything with his feet, but it's just one stationary shot of him standing there singing, and he's controlling all the lights with his feet, but it is so well done.
I've never been I've never really watched his stuff. Like maybe I saw one of his videos back in the day, but I will say it's weird because it's this mix of almost cheesiness, like Weird Al cheesiness, and he sounds like Weird Al as well.
He does so much.
And
Yeah.
but also at the same time, it dives into this kind of deep, depressing stuff. So you got to kind of give it your attention. Like
Okay.
it's something you really don't want to watch while you're like on your phone or something. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't even check it out until yesterday. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recommend it.
So, music. Tell us about your musical influences.
Music. Okay. My music tastes are really all over the place. I like a lot of different kinds of music, but I guess like culturally my art aligns most with like hyperpop and stuff like that, but I also really like folk music and like emo and like a little bit of hip hop and pop music. I think that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then-
Cool.
And do you listen to that stuff like while you're working, or do you kind of have like a different thing that you listen to while you work, or nothing
Yeah.
at all? Some people don't
I
listen to
watch
music.
a lot of YouTube when I'm working. I gotta have it on. But like when I do listen to music, I do listen to like hyperpop. Like a lot of my friends are involved in that genre. And like hyperpop and pop a lot. And then like when I'm feeling moody, I'll listen to like emo and some kind of like folk music. Like was a huge like Bright Eyes person in high school.
I love Bright Eyes. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
So you can kind of understand like,
Yeah.
where I'm at with
Yeah.
that.
What is it? Lover that I love. What is it? Lover I Don't Have to Love. Is that the name of the
Yes.
song? Oh
Yeah.
gosh, that song is so good.
So
That one gets me
good.
every time.
Oh my God. Yeah, all of Connor's albums are really good, but I kind of fell off after like Casadega a little bit, but been trying to get back into Bright Eyes.
Mhm.
Really like Phoebe Bridgers too, who he's been working with a lot. Yeah, I don't know, like was into like Cursive and like Brand New
Cursive.
Mhm.
Gosh, art is hard.
Loved
Art is
Brand-
hard.
Yeah.
Loved Brand New. Brand New is good.
Yeah, Motion City soundtrack was really into
Motion
that.
City soundtrack. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
Rilo Kiley, Metric.
Love Rilo Kiley.
I named my beagle after Rilo Kiley like 15 years
Really?
ago. Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
saw the Postal Service a few years ago.
That's awesome.
That's right. I gave you
yeah,
the ticket.
you actually sold
Or
me
sold
those
you the
tickets.
ticket.
Yeah. It was one of the worst shows I've ever been to.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Was it like it was Ben Gibbard, right? And Jenny Lewis? Were
Yes.
they both there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was them together. Yeah. But
And
like,
it was bad?
Well,
it was fine. Here's the thing. It was
Yeah.
a fine show. Like they played great, but the person mixing the sound, like the bass was so bad, I had a panic attack in the middle of it.
Oh
So
my
I had to
God.
actually leave
Oh my
and go
god.
stand in the hallway for a little bit because like the bass was just getting to me, you know, and there was so much pot smoke around, and you know, I don't smoke
Yeah.
pot, and it's like, okay,
Pretty intense,
Get-
yeah.
yeah, it was pretty intense. So, but yeah, Jenny Lewis is great.
Yes.
great.
Really
And-
awesome.
and I think that Owl City, whoever the dude is in Owl City, that he sounds like the
Yeah.
guy from the Postal Service.
Yeah, a little bit.
Has
Little
that
bit.
inflection and that weird accent that's in music that no one has in real life, you know?
You know, I saw a TikTok the other day where they were talking about, you know, because there was this big influence between like pop punk and stuff like that, especially with like, you know, Blink 182 and like this accent, you know,
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
I
that
saw that.
became
There's the-
super popularized, and then like the American accent kind of changed specifically because of that, like style of
What?
singing.
And there was
Yeah,
this
I
whole
don't know,
California,
weird.
it was called the California something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
crazy.
why you hear Blink 182 and Owl City, they're like, oi, instead of just saying I. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
Wow.
it's neat.
So do you listen to podcasts as well? I know you got like YouTube going and stuff. Do you listen to any shows?
Yeah, I listened to How Did This Get Played?
Hmm.
A
What is
lot.
that?
What is that?
It's a video game podcast about like, oh god, I'm not even gonna try to like repeat their like tagline, like the worst, weirdest, and something, I don't know, like video games they talk about. I was actually bugging Heather Ann Campbell to get on the podcast, and she was talking to me for a minute. Has not happened yet, but maybe. But yeah, they just like invite people on. They play these these like weird games and kind of talk
Cool.
about like if they're good or bad or like what.
Have you ever heard of Monster Factory on YouTube?
No.
It's on Polygon. It's
Yeah.
two guys from a podcast that two of us love to listen to. It's called My Brother, and Me. And that show is about, they answer questions, but with bad advice. Like people ask for advice, or they answer ridiculous Yahoo Answers questions. But they've done a whole bunch of different podcasts. One about Dungeons and Dragons, and they have a Polygon show, or they did. I don't know if it's still around. It's called Monster Factory, and what they do is they try to create
They
these
go into
crazy
the-
creations in the character creators and see how
Yeah.
bad they can make them. And it is the funniest thing I have ever heard, like or seen. You know, they make Bert Sampson, and it's supposed to be like a version of Bart in one of these video games, and he's just like a monster, hence the name.
That sounds pretty good.
But I was
this
crying
podcast
when I
sound-
watched this. It was so funny.
How did this get played? It looks really cool. They got a lot of episodes.
It's
And,
so
like,
good.
Some of that. I'm surprised I haven't seen Back to the Future on here, because Back to the Future was a terrible game on NES. It was like
Oh, I
an
remember that.
awful game, and it was so hard.
Is ET on? ET's got to be on there on Atari,
I don't
right?
know. I don't know. It's interesting, but like Superman 64, of course. You know that one is an awful game. I don't know,
You've
cool.
heard this. You've
That's
heard the
neat.
story of ET on Atari, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, burying the cartridges and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, worst game
I have
ever.
it. I have it for Atari.
You have it.
It's
for,
a really stupid game.
yeah.
Like you can beat it apparently in like 30 seconds if you know exactly what to do. Anyway.
Here's a great question for you. Favorite video game?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, that's hard. Like, I have to pick one. I really like, I'm gonna just name a few. I really like Persona, Shin
Mhm.
Megami series. I really like Zelda. I like Pokemon, but like I think like getting older, the games are getting like too easy and boring. But
Ah,
still
love the
collecting
new Pokemon
cards.
Snap. The new Pokemon Snap is great.
It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am enjoying it for sure. Definitely fun. What else? Like I like JRPGs. I don't usually finish them, but I kind of like the idea of them like more than um Persona 5 is awesome. I watched through most of that. Kingdom Hearts was one of my favorite games as a
Hmm.
kid. Again, one of those games that kind of like stayed too easy in my opinion.
Mhm.
But really into Overwatch. Was really
Hmm.
into like Tony Hawk for
Oh,
like when
so
I was a
good.
kid. Super into
Yeah.
Tony Hawk. Really
Did
good
you
at
try
Tony Hawk.
the remake? The remake is just as
No,
good.
but I need to. I really like
So
that's when
good.
I have time. I really need to download that. Like I
Mhm.
really such a good game. I really love it.
The remake, it's like replaying it. It's how you remember it from back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
It's so
Uh
good.
need to get it really bad.
Did you ever play
Yeah.
SSX? Because
Yes.
yeah, were you real big into that or Tony Hawk?
Um
Because I feel like you were either into one or the other because their
Mm.
controls were the opposite of each other's the way it
I
worked.
I was pretty into both. I had like a lot of extreme sports games. I had an X Games game too that had an amazing like soundtrack. But the game itself was like okay, I mostly played it for the music.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's yeah, SSX. I really loved the music, and even the new ones, the music is awesome. And
Mhm.
so it was
Yeah.
just so fun to go on these crazy, ridiculous courses, just super trippy
Yeah.
looking courses with this music blasting. So,
Yeah.
That's cool.
um, I was gonna ask you about Among Us. Do you play like Among Us and like those kind of videos games, like the kind of I don't know,
I never got
Fortnite
into
or
I never got into like Among Us because like lying makes me really anxious. So I like was like, I don't know about this. But um like I'm really into Overwatch, kind of similar idea of like, multiplayer, like team oriented game. Really fun. Hearthstone, pretty cool too. That's like a card game.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I was playing Fall Guys for like a second, but
that's
like
the
Yeah.
one I
really
was gonna ask
just
you about. Yeah,
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a
yeah,
stupid game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, you should join one night on Windbush's game night on Twitch. It's fun. We all just kind of hang out on Discord and play video games.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah,
to. That sounds really fun.
it's usually Saturday nights, but it's the summertime, so everybody's kind of out doing stuff.
Right.
EJ's currently in
In
Africa,
Africa. Yeah.
so
Oh,
everybody's been
nice.
kind of, and I'm going to Colorado where EJ's supposed to be, and he's not there, so I'm gonna be gone. I think there's gonna be a couple weeks at least before we're playing again. But you should join us.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let me know. It sounds really fun.
Mhm.
I'm skipping around a lot, but TV show. How about TV show?
TV show. Um, hmm. Trying to think. Been on YouTube a lot.
Mhm.
What TV have I been watching? I like watch like really bad Netflix shows. I don't even know what to even mention right now. I guess like I was really into like CW shows for a minute. This is like really
Right.
embarrassing. Like
Right.
Riverdale and the 100. I
Riverdale.
got really
Yeah.
into.
Any
Um,
Buffy in there too?
I had never watched Buffy. I missed out on that one, but yeah.
What? Okay, so what YouTube channels do you
Yeah, that's
specifically
probably a better
watch?
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I was really into like video game like channels, like a lot of speed running stuff for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah. Love myself some
Um,
speed running.
so good. And then I was watching a lot of those people on Twitch, kind of getting into like their little worlds. was watching a lot of like Overwatch stuff. Like Emong is one of my favorite like Overwatch players. He's just so entertaining. And then was watching like some Super Mario speed running. I think watching like the older video game speed runs is like the best versus
I
like
agree.
the newer games where they're really like exploiting like glitches and like trying to break the game. And God, I can't like what's his name? Summoning Salt or something. I think that's the channel that he does like all these like retrospectives of like video games and speed runs and like there's one on like Mario Kart 64 that's like just awesome. He talks about like how like people like over the years have found like new glitches to like break the game and beat it faster and like you know, just
We
I
need a
love
new
that.
Mario Kart. When's the new Mario Kart coming out,
I
yo?
don't know. Probably once they do a new console,
Yeah.
which is gonna be a while. There was a documentary or something that I saw on YouTube one time about Mario 1, like the original Mario Brothers, you know, and like how people have just been trying to get it faster and faster and faster. I remember I woke up one morning and someone had made the new world record for Mario 1, and it was just shortly after I saw that thing. But it is insane the things that you have to do in order to beat that game.
And you have to do
know?
it
Yeah.
perfectly
The
with
speedrun.
no
Yeah.
hesitation and
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
talking like literal like frames, not
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, of course.
Frames.
Yeah.
You know, which is
It's
crazy.
really crazy, and it's like they have like ways of like kind of like I don't know, counting the frames by like that you have to like do a certain thing at a certain time to make sure you're like on the right like frame like later on in the level, and like if you don't do that then it's just like total trash, like you have to like restart. It's like it's crazy, yeah, the way like these things, I don't even know. I could never get into it personally. Love watching it though.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy if like I'll be scrolling through TikTok or something and I'll see a video game where I'm like, oh man, I would love to play that, but I really don't care that much. I'm gonna watch someone speed run it real quick so I can see how the game actually ends.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. One of my favorite games of all time, but I have yet to ever actually beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
38 years old, still have not beaten Mike Tyson. I don't know.
So what about plugins? What is your absolute besides render engines? What is your favorite plugin?
Favorite plugin. It's a really good question. I don't know if I've ever thought about this. I guess like out of utility, it has to be like the like DAZ to Cinema 4D and DAZ to Maya Bridge. Like,
okay.
Sure, yeah.
Just like for utility purposes, getting like my FBX over into those programs, it does a pretty good job with like the skin weighting and stuff, and I don't have to bother with it. So I'm definitely gonna have to go with that one for sure.
Okay. That's a good one. I haven't heard of that one. I haven't used DAZ like ever.
Yeah.
You know,
I used
I know
it
it's
a little, just messed with it.
very
years ago.
popular in especially in the NFT space right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are using it for characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can buy so many different characters to bring into DAZ too, I think, right? Like
Yep. They have a huge marketplace. So it's pretty cool because, you know, you can download a character, bring it into ZBrush, modify it, bring it back into DAZ, turn on that blend shape, you have a whole new character, you know? So
That's
and then
cool.
you can bring it into like Substance and, you know, do whatever you want, paint the character or whatever, bring it back out. So there's so much functionality, and it really makes like character oriented things like so much faster. The only thing it's not great for is if you're like really making like characters that are like very, very unique. So like, I don't know, something like really sci-fi or like really like, I don't know, fantasy based or something like that, or like more abstract. That not so good for like to start with like a really like realistic human base mesh. Like it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And
That's
now,
cool.
what about muscle memory app? When you pick up your phone, where do you go?
Probably Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter and email.
Been hearing Twitter a whole lot more lately,
Yeah.
which is a shame because I hate it. I think it's awful.
I think that it's kind of made in our circles a little resurgence with NFTs 'cause you have to link your
Absolutely.
Twitter to everything, so
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the crypto community is really big on Twitter. NFT community is really big on Twitter. So I actually just really got into it with with the NFT stuff, to be completely honest. I think I had maybe like 1,000 followers on it before this.
More than I have.
Yeah. Like now I'm almost at like 4,000, but like compared to like my Instagram, which is like, I don't know, now 27,000, something like that. I don't know.
That's awesome.
So it's like definitely a disparity there, but it feels really good to be like growing a new following somewhere else, especially like with Instagram's algorithm and like the lack of visibility. Like everyone's feeling like suffering from that, it basically is made now to have to like dump money into it, and if you don't have that money, it's really hard to gain visibility on Instagram for the most part.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think NFTs are gonna change some of this a little bit in the future.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like this is probably better for the NFT portion of the show, but I just feel like that, I don't know. I feel like Instagram isn't going to be the platform of choice in a few years for stuff like that. Yeah.
I think it's already happening.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm going to it as much recently, but the last question on the list before we go to the drop is, this is a toughie. This is your favorite life hack. And this could be something more of like utilitarian, or it could be more of a life, I don't know, like profound life hack or something. Mitch Myers, his example is you turn the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. Now, I will say, I found a photo I probably need to send to him of a toaster that's specifically made now for making grilled cheese because it holds the thing together. You don't have to turn it on its side. But
nice.
do you have a tip or life hack or something that you can give people in general?
God, I don't know.
Maybe in productivity or work-life balance.
I try to like work out every day. Like
That's a
I
good
think
one.
that really helps. I think like just I didn't have any like life hacks other than like the normal like sleep 8 hours, work out like every day for at least 20 minutes. Like you don't want to do it, but do it. Use Google Calendar, really like organize, which I still need to get even better at, but organize like your day on Google Calendar before you go to sleep. Just like eat well, buy like healthy produce, like spend the money on things that you think should be organic, or like that type of stuff. Like I think that's probably how I feel best. And go to therapy. Like I think everyone can use therapy, and
absolutely.
I think that's like a huge thing that a lot of people don't like, are scared of, but it helps.
Yeah, they don't like the stigma attached to it, and it's like you're admitting that you have a problem with something.
So don't tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're worried about it, don't tell anyone.
Seeing a therapist, it was that it completely changed the course of my life. It was the best thing I ever did for myself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't currently see one, but it's like sometimes some people need it all the time. Some people just need it for temporarily. But it was
And with the exercise stuff too, it's like it's kind of like what Matt says to me a lot. He's like, I don't want to run. I hate running. And I'm like, I hate running too. But any sort of exercise, if you do it at least 20 minutes a day, and sometimes I don't do it and I don't feel great, but sometimes a lot of times you do it, you get those endorphins and
it really helps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You go in the.
It really helps.
I'm not a big morning exerciser, right?
I
Like
cannot work out in the morning. My brain is off in the morning.
Yes.
I cannot. I like try to go for a run in the morning, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Same here.
you know, like
Yeah.
feels bad.
I
It
am
feels
a-
good
tired.
afterwards, but I cannot get myself to do it.
No,
But maybe
I get
once or
tired.
twice.
I
Yeah.
get sick.
Yeah.
Like people are like, I'm energized for the rest of the day. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, what do you mean? You just spent all that energy and you're more energized? Like, how does that work? I
Yeah.
don't get that.
My
No.
favorite time to work out is right before lunch. You know, I
Okay.
did that for a while. Like I used to go and work out when I was working a regular job, you know. At lunchtime, I would go work out and then I'd grab lunch on my way back, you know, and it was awesome. I was working out every day. I was in the best shape of my life. Now I'm in the worst, officially. I weighed myself this morning. I'm very sad. I'm on a diet.
Couch to
I've
5K.
got a headache because of how hungry I am.
Couch to
Oh,
5K.
yeah.
That's all you need. Just,
Yeah.
just start there.
You can do
Yeah.
like some weight stuff. Like I find that really enjoyable.
Yeah.
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 It's like less cardio can get kind of intense. I love cardio. Like it feels the best afterwards.
Mhm.
But like doing like weight training is also really good too.
See, I was always really big into weight training.
Yeah.
I've always hated cardio since I was in 5th grade. I've hated cardio. Just
Yeah.
running. I am not good at running. I'm an ugly runner. I run like Phoebe, you know, on Friends. It's just not good. So
I'm right there
I
with
don't
you,
know.
though. I'm right there with
Yeah.
you. I hate it, but man, does it, you know, man, is it
I
effective?
agree with that. I hate it too. Was never a fast runner, but like I don't think it's about being fast, you know. I think it's about just like keeping the pace and like keeping going, you know, more than
Mhm.
anything.
mhm.
Yeah.
Put on
Yeah.
some good music.
Yeah.
That's all you
Mhm.
need.
Oh,
Yep.
it's amazing what that does. Like,
Yes.
like when you need an extra push, if you put on like your power song, oh man, it's incredible what that does
Yes,
psychologically.
absolutely. So good. The endorphins,
Yep.
so good.
Yeah. I think we are ready to do the drop because we got you know, short show like we said, so
Mhm.
we'll do the drop. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead, is joining me as always, Mr. Dave Koss. Joining us this week, Nicole Ruggiero. Thanks for showing up. All right, let's see. What
you got for us today? Short show.
Short show specifically because Nifty Gateway didn't get their stuff out in time for me to actually make notes. So
I thought
we
they
don't
did.
have.
I thought
No,
you got,
they did one of them.
You
So
sent
they
me
did
1,
today,
2, 3,
which is
4.
fine.
Oh, all 4
Yeah.
of these are from today.
All 4 of these are for today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay then.
So yeah, let's just jump into the big ones of Maker's Place and Nifty Gateway. We'll start with. You want to start with Nifty Gateway, Dave?
Yeah, I'm on Nifty right
First up is Stina Jones. Stina is, oh boy, let's see. Yeah, so this is a group called Artifacts. I like these. These are like really illustrative looking things, and that's dropping today. I believe they're dropping at 6.
everything's
I could
today,
be
right?
wrong.
Yeah.
Everything's today. Yeah, just the
6:30
ones that I
PM
got.
Eastern.
6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Mhm.
Yeah. Next up, you got Clayton McCracken. I like this. It looked like a lot of really cool fractal, like almost like a C4D noise and stuff like that. I don't know. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Next up, we got Tim Riopel. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Riopel is what I would
Yeah, I don't
say,
know.
but who knows?
I really liked these ones. I thought these ones were cool. Like the one called Going Down and Brown. I like the animations. These are pretty cool. Really neat stuff.
Oh, that's an interesting one. This brown one kind of reminds me of like a low poly shooter in the 80s.
Right. Yeah.
Space
That's
shooter.
funny.
Yeah.
And then last we got today is Shawn Williams. Shawn Williams reminds me a lot of like Ferocious.
Mm.
I don't know if yours is load. Mine's not loading either on this side.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, I know. Interesting that we can't see it. Anyway, so something's going on over at Nifty Gateway, but if you like Ferocious, you'll like Shawn Williams.
All right then.
So yeah. Next up on Maker's Place, I feel like we've got to have this person every week. Murat Senginger with the flying fish. This is super cool stuff. I always like Murat
nice.
stuff. Yeah, they're doing another drop tomorrow. Yeah. Next up,
The
you've
Court
got
of Conscience. Oh, okay. All right.
I think they're doing so. You may want to check Maker's Place for those who are interested in the drops on Maker's Place, because I think they're doing a drop every day this month. But those are only there's only 3 of them that they're previewing today, so they may actually have ones later on this month as well, or this week. So I'll try and keep everyone updated. Next up on the 16th, this is Finch. Neat little animation called Tulip Bear. I thought this one was cool. It's like a bear.
The honey bear?
Like a honey bear. Honey bear. Pretty fun. I'm interested to see if there's more to it than that. And then the last one, I love this artist, Anna Zileva, I believe is how you say it. I'm not. She's the VR.
Yes.
The VR painter.
Yes.
You know, the one who tilt brushes. Oh, I love her work. It's so
Yeah.
good. Like, her work is just absolutely amazing. She's doing another drop on the 17th, I believe.
Man, those
So,
portraits.
gosh, so beautiful. So
The eyes are really on point on these, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, see, what I love is that, like, she zooms in so close to get the detail, you know, like she's doing up in the top left right now, you know, and then she zooms out and it's like, oh, it looks so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love her work. I would love to own some of her work one day. So, no community drops right now.
We didn't get anything from anybody this week.
No, nothing from anybody. And you know, I knew this was going to happen. Eventually, you know, people are going to slow down on the NFT stuff, which is fine.
And it's summertime,
you know?
too. Everybody's just
It's summertime. Yeah. Eventually, everyone's it's gonna become a part of everyday life. These NFTs, and you know, when they drop and stuff. But if you or anyone you know are dropping an NFT, feel free to shoot us an email, info@mograph.com, and we'll show it off on the show. The other really big NFT news that we need to talk about, because this is huge, and Nicole, you had to deal with this past week, as well as other big notable people in the NFT in the space. In the NFT space, Frederick Duquette Fuckrender, he had this happen to him too. So basically what it is someone is contacting all these artists, right, and saying, hey, I'd be interested in hiring you for like an NFT or a job or something like that. You know, will you check out what I've got already? And they send a .srt file. What happens? Is it SRT? SCR. Sorry, a .scr file. And what happens is that gives them full control over your computer or something like that, and they end up stealing your MetaMask wallet. You know?
Yeah.
Which sucks.
So tell us about that a little. I think that
Nicole, tell us,
very good for people to understand how this happens in order to make sure that they're secure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Literal nightmare. I'm like pretty perceptive with like these types of things too. And,
absolutely.
Like, totally got me, and it's just been absolutely terrible. Like, I'm on like my laptop right now because my compromised computer is currently like dealing with like backing stuff up, and I need to like reinstall Windows, and like it's just been absolutely terrible. So basically to go over what happened, I got sent an email. I was going through my emails quickly, just got back from vacation and was like, okay, let me see like who's talking to me, like whatever. And I got this email from Paper Collective or something like that, and it looked like a legit email. And then it's like, okay, if you want to like view the terms of like what we're talking about, like click on this Google Drive links. The Google Drive link goes to a tiny URL, which goes to a Google Drive. And inside of that Google Drive, it's like a presentation that has another link in it that says like view collaboration details, like password, like 2020. You click on that link, it downloads a RAR file.
Jeez.
And, like,
I mean, and that's a lot of steps. Any one of us could get hit by that,
right?
Yeah. Then, so the RAR file, you unzip it, has the password 2020. Then it opens into an SCR file with a Word icon, and I was like, God, these people must be stupid. Like, just like with like what the hell's an SCR file? They probably like saved it wrong or something.
Right.
Click on it, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Immediately, bells went off in my head. I was like, oh shit, like this is a virus. So I like ran to my MetaMask, pulled everything out.
Were they already up in there at that point, trying to pull stuff?
No, so what I did is I left a tiny bit of money in it, and they wound up pulling that out.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
see,
like,
but you think you'd like, I don't know, as stupid as this sounds, like the FBI or something like that I mean, you this all like crypto is so traceable,
It is,
like,
but it isn't though. It's easy to identify what account hacked you or stole your money. It's impossible almost to find the person behind that account.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, totally. That's like how crypto started. Like, do you remember like Silk Road and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's the the whole premise. I mean, not the premise of
it's the nature of the beast with crypto, right? Like it's like that's why it's secure in the first place. Right. So it's a good and bad thing at the same time.
Yeah. So it's been a nightmare, like working with like Foundation and stuff to get my account migrated. I'm on a few other sites too that I'm trying to contact, and like I don't know how that's gonna work. It's just been terrible, really stressful.
Absolutely.
I've been like making most of my money through crypto for the past few months, and it's been amazing. And like getting hit with this is really, really, really like upsetting and hard. And I'm really hoping to like recoup properly, and I'm still like in that process right now.
Because it's not even the money; it's the fact that the art is attached to these accounts, and that's the really difficult thing. Is it's like it's almost like it needs to be two separate things. I don't know how that would be, but it's so like when you take your money, if you have a large sum of money, you put it like a hardware wallet and take it off, off the internet and whatever. But it's like you can't really do that with your art, like you got to have your art.
Well, you can. I just got a ledger for my new MetaMask, so I'm gonna be using a hardware wallet from now on. And getting into this, I think a lot of artists like didn't really understand like the dangers of crypto and how easy it is to get hacked like this. Like it's like so upsetting. I feel like like everyone's vulnerable, unless you're taking like a ton of extra secure steps, and like even then it's still kind of scary. There's nothing backing you up. Like MetaMask isn't going to give you your money back. Coinbase isn't going to give you your money back if you mess something up. Like that's the scary part. But I still want to stay in this world. I think it's really cool and interesting, and again, I really like new technology, so I'm gonna keep moving forward. But I would definitely advise to everyone to be really careful. Basically, what this virus did is I had like a few people like analyzing it, like for me, just so I kind of knew like how deep it got into my computer. But
Right.
basically, like thankfully it wasn't like that smart of a virus, and it was just kind of like running as like an executable, and it didn't like embed into any of my files. So technically, I probably could be safe without wiping Windows, but I just want to be like extra safe now.
Yeah, no, I'd be safe too.
Because it's the
I would be
registry
safe
that
too.
you just
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to figure out if it got in the registry how deep it went.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I don't think it got into anything. It didn't get into the registry, but
That's good.
you know, better be safe than sorry kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, they can access any of your files. They access all my passwords and like all of my stuff saved on Chrome. I would tell everyone, do not do that. Get a password manager, get 1Password. Like, don't save your stuff on Chrome. Also, like, be careful with your mobile phones. Like, I was reading online that you can get hacked just by receiving a text message. So,
jeez.
Well, it's
don't
SIM
know
hacking.
anything about that. But,
SIM swapping. SIM swapping is the big thing now. They call T-Mobile, AT&T. They convince them that they're a certain person. They get to do a SIM swap, and all of a sudden, the two-factor authentication is going to their phone and not yours.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, get an authenticator app versus like doing like the text two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I've got
unfortunately,
authenticator through my Coinbase. You know, that's how I get into Coinbase.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like a lot of websites still don't have authenticator apps, so that's really annoying. But
well, I think Apple is working on some sort of solution as well. If there's going to be like Apple's going to have its own authenticator too. I think they're working in that area. But like your stuff that's on Foundation though, like you can't take it off the blockchain because it's your or a hardware wallet because it's your art. You want to have your art on display for people to buy and sell. Hopefully you recover all of that. And
yeah, I'm like working with Foundation right now. I'm not really sure what the end result is going to be exactly as far as like pieces I've already sold. But you know, the people who own those pieces have those pieces, so it's that's fine. But and my account's like frozen right now, so that's also good. But yeah, as far as like migrating everything, I'm still like working with them on that. So I'll keep everyone updated as far as like how that goes. But yeah, definitely looking to like recoup after this and get involved in more NFT stuff. So if anyone out there like is looking for an artist to do some NFT projects or anything, or like whatever, definitely hit me up. I know like a lot of new gallery spaces are opening up in person, which I think is really cool. I'm in New York, always looking for more opportunities in that, you know, that type of thing. But yeah, and I'll have a couple drops after I finally get recovered too. I'm dropping an artwork, something that I've already made with Enos Alpha, one of those face filters actually, probably sometime this month or next month. Really excited about that. And then I'm going to be dropping another artwork with Plant Daddy as well at some point this month. So just waiting to get recovered first. Yeah.
You sold a lot of art too. That's great.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's great that you sold a lot of art, and it sucks that like all this happened.
But it's great that you didn't get too much money stolen. I mean, Fuckrinder said he had like he posted he had like 200K stolen from him or something.
Yeah, like 250K. Yeah.
It's insane. Like imagine like a couple years salary like getting stolen, or you know, it's like it's like years off your life.
Yeah.
So it's something to really look out for. I'm hoping that, you know, at some point we can have maybe like a security person come on and talk to us a little bit more about
that'd be
that.
interesting.
Not even like security person, but somebody who's like, you know, I don't know, like Mankind or somebody who's very well versed in.
MetaMask has always felt iffy to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's weird that you have to log into so many sites with it and that you have to authorize it. Like, and then.
I mean, but that's the nature of the beast. And
yeah, but there's no two-factor authentication. Like, it can't send
that's the part
message
that's
to
like,
my phone. It's like, what is going
on?
I
don't like. I wish it was a little bit more secure in that way, for sure.
What sucks is like I've got all my render tokens there, You know, it's like, and I can't move that over to like Coinbase or something that's a little bit more secure.
Right.
I don't know. The only thing I can think is just offloading it to a hard drive, a
That's
hardware
where I
thing,
think.
and
That's where I think
that
like
worries me.
Render got like, and I won't speak to his experience
Right.
completely, but like I think he had like some altcoins in MetaMask, and I guess like, you know, where do you move those if you can't move them to Coinbase?
Right,
Kind of.
right, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. It's still just like the beginning of all of this. We're going to
Yeah.
see so much change over the next few years, especially, I think. It's tough. I hadn't mentioned yet, I guess I sold my Beeple that I owned.
Yeah, you did.
And
fun.
this is what's funny. Small world, right? Guy wanted the physical piece, just happened he lived in Dallas as well.
Yeah.
And so we ended up meeting at the Starbucks on the corner here in order to do the sale and do the physical piece of all places in the world, you know. And so of course we're at Starbucks. We're not going to open up MetaMask on the Starbucks Wi-Fi or whatever,
Right.
you know. So he's on VPN. I've got, you know, I'm tunneling through my phone just to do the MetaMask. But it was interesting doing the MetaMask like trade next to each other in person, you know.
Yeah.
And seeing that money
Yeah.
come in and doing the handshake deal and handing over the physical piece. But I'm just
cool.
so incredibly nervous doing that stuff, and you hit these large chunks of money and you're
Yeah,
like,
for
oh my
sure.
gosh, like
Like,
Yeah, and then
like,
you're
if
transferring
you
it
like,
over to.
yeah, if you put in the wrong address or something,
here's the
Goodbye, money.
you want to know what mistake I almost made, and I don't know if nothing would have happened or if it would have been catastrophic, but when you transfer from like MetaMask to Coinbase, and it says, okay, Coinbase says open your ETH wallet. It gives you an address. If you copy and paste that address, you take it where it needs to go to do your MetaMask transfer, right? Well, I decided to transfer $1,000 as a test to make sure I could get that money where it needed to go without any problem, right? When you go to do it again on MetaMask or wherever I was, it asks you, you want to do the transfer again? Okay, do you want to just go to the address that you just went to? And I almost hit yes, but every time you open that wallet in Coinbase to get an address, it gives you a different address. So it was not the same address when I opened it to do the transfer for the rest of the money. And so I'm like, what if I would have sent it to the first address I tested it on by accident? Where would it have gone?
Yeah.
Because they gave me that address. I did not realize that the Coinbase wallet addresses are constantly changing. I thought that they assigned them to you for good for a transfer, but I guess I don't.
I got really lucky because I sold my Beeple piece through Nifty. I didn't have to deal with any of the back channel stuff,
Right.
and I was able to just transfer all my money straight to my bank.
Yeah.
You know.
nice.
But the I will say one thing. Nifty updated their stuff to where you have to, if you want to sell on Nifty anymore, you have to update your account and become an authorized seller
Right.
or reseller or
Yeah.
whatever, because they make you fill out all the information for Square. I guess they're dealing with like tax issues
That
or
must
something
be
like
a
that. I
tax
don't know.
thing.
Yeah.
Because now you're going direct. You're doing your own Stripe and all of that. That's got to be why, you know. Andy says, yeah, the changing address from Coinbase is really annoying a lot of the time with frequent exchanges. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know I don't know if it would just error it out or if it would have sent the money to an arbitrary address and it would be gone. I think they need to warn you about that.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
agree.
Yeah. So, uh-oh.
Hey, look, it's Dorpy.
Hey, Matt.
What's up, Dorpy?
How's it going? I'm about to go on summer vacation with Dave, so I'm going to make this quick. I'm about to go watch Loki anyway. I had no idea that it was coming out. I guess you could say they released it pretty low-key.
Oh, gosh. I'm impressed that's not a dog joke this time.
Oh, well, I got more. Just stay tuned.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really have much more to say because I'm going on vacation. I just want to go chill and relax in the sand with my growler. Dorpy, I didn't know you were into craft beer. craft beer? Yeah. You said a growler. Oh, no. Growler is a hookup app for dogs.
Uh,
Okay, bye.
That was a good one. That's a good one, Dave. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good old Jrpg.
Yeah.
Nicole, thank you for coming on. And
Thank you for
having
I
me.
know that's a really shitty thing to happen. It's really hard to talk about, but I think it's important to put the information out there,
Yeah, I want everyone to be safe and learn from my mistakes, definitely. And if anyone like sees anything like I went through, like definitely feel free to hit me up and ask like if it seems like a virus, because I feel like it can happen.
Never open anything that is not an MOV file or an MPEG-4.
You
right?
never know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Just don't open anything that
Don't open
is
anything
from
ever.
someone you don't know.
Yeah,
I think is
totally.
who you can't maybe send them an email back first and be like, hey, this sounds interesting, ask some questions, see if they seem sketchy. I don't know. Look at the email address. The email address was at a Gmail account. That's a really good, I usually do this too. And I look at the email and I look at the website and then I put the website in the browser to see where it goes. Right. Just to see who it is. I would say if you get any Gmail emails, be super wary of what's going on there.
Yeah, totally.
All right, Matt. Well, let's wrap the drop and then we'll wrap the podcast as well.
Cool. If y'all have any drops, hit us up. info@mograph.com. Until then, we'll see y'all next week on the drop.
The drop.
Is this the fucking mic drop? This is exactly what I should be doing.
And we're back to the show.
And we're back. Nicole, thank you so much for being on the show. This week, we really appreciate it. It was good.
You've got some really interesting...
This is the first time I've ever met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet you over the internet. Hopefully we'll meet in person one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go to NAB or any of the events that are starting to pop back up this year, or are you waiting a little longer?
There's an NFT thing in New York. I think it's called NFT NYC or something. Don't quote me on that. It's in November. I'm gonna go to that. So definitely gonna be there. Any other events I don't know about, so maybe clue me in.
NAB happening in October.
NAB. Oh yeah, cool.
Totally. I'd say Camp Mograph, but it's sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there'll be some people at NAB in October for sure, but not all of them.
Amount, yeah.
And April, I think, is when they're gonna. Assuming they're going back to April after that, but I think that one's gonna be big. I think
that one will
Nice.
be big. Yeah.
there's still a lot of restrictions involved in that. Even if you're vaccinated, I think you have to have a mask and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if I didn't know touching policy.
Putting that out there. I think they're just putting that out there as a precaution. I think it's all going to be gone by, we booked a Disney trip for July, knowing that everything was fully masked and blah, blah, blah. They just dropped all the mask stuff this last week. So it's you can now go to Disney World with no mask.
Wow.
They say, they recommend, or they say for fully vaccinated people, you don't have to wear a mask, but we recommend it for those who aren't or whatever. And it's but they're not going to check. So it's okay. Right. So you got the vaccinated people and then you got the liars,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, Nicole, if people want to find you online, where are the best places to check out your work and hit you up, send you a message, not a text. Don't be creepy.
Not a text. No text, please.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter at _ Nicole Ruggiero. My last name's Ruggiero. Just at Nicole Ruggiero on Instagram. And if you want to check out my frozen NFT account on Foundation, it's Foundation at Nicole Ruggiero also.
At least bookmark it for when it's unfrozen so they can go back and buy
Yeah, add me on Twitter and I'll keep everyone updated as on my journey that I am currently in.
Cool.
Right on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, stay on the line with us here. We'll get all your files and things after the show. But we're gonna say goodbye to the audience. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your podcatcher, subscribe on your podcatcher of choice, leave a review on your podcast rating app of choice, and helps get our ratings up when you give us a little 5-star review there. You can subscribe to the newsletter, which I think we're going to have one coming out this week, and we send that out about once a month. You can see what's going on. You'll see some of the updates to Summer of Mograph and what we're doing there. And you can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. That's classic. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. Vintage Paul Babb shirt. The Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. The That Render is Fire shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams.
And lastly, the Mograph Blandishment shirt, which is what I'm wearing right now, if you can see on the interwebs. And
I'm wearing my Node Commander shirt.
Oh, nice. That Chad Ashley dough.
Yeah,
I
that
bumped
Chad
my
Ashley,
microphone.
he's right there.
I'm just going to talk down here for the next 30 seconds.
Yep.
And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Mograph.com, and of course now TikTok. Check it out. There's stuff on there that you don't see anywhere else. So check that out. Get your quick tips on Cinema 4D and edutainment type stuff. And that wraps it up, I think. And I'm still down here in the bottom. So until next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Nicole.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bye.